Hello, people of the MuggleNet. Shadow here to strike your day full of entertainment and information. Today, I am going to talk about the Hogwarts Legacy official trailer, release trailer, whatever you want to call it. Mainly because I watched a lot of other people's, frame by frame, what they think, everything like that, and I've noticed because I myself went frame by frame, and I noticed something I have not seen anywhere else. Anywhere else. So I don't think I'm the very first. Correct me if I'm wrong. But no one else has talked about it. And no, it's not the potion that the potions teacher put down. Everyone's seen that. No. Watch my video and you'll find out. But yeah, so let's get started. All right, so everyone's already seen all of these. Keep going. A beautiful intro. So first off, I am going to kind of show this. So we just keep going. Everyone's talked about the barn owl, everything like that. We keep going. I want to talk about this book right here. So this book has three symbols of the fleur de lis. Now, fleur de lis is French for flower, or more specifically, a lily flower. It is also the symbol for Boy Scouts, or I guess just Scouts of America now. Um, it represents outdoors and plants, wildlife, different things like that. So I'm guessing this book is most likely a herbology book. It could also be, care of magical creatures. My guess would be more herbology book, just if they know the history and the meaning behind this symbol, then that's would be my guess. This book actually, I just noticed, kind of looks like those are stars. So an astronomy book, maybe? Question mark? Possibly. Um, keep going, and I know a few other people have pointed this out, but this right here looks like the man in the moon symbol, the man in the moon theory and myth or whatever you want to call it. So that would most likely be something to do with astronomy, not astrology, sorry, astronomy. Uh, I don't know what this would be. It kind of looks like a hat box. Oh, and that actually reminds me. In the books and movies, Harry Potter only has one trunk and a cage for Hedwig. So why would they do this? Why would they have so many books, so much stuff? While in like the books and the movies, he really only has one trunk. Are they doing it just to kind of show interest, to kind of like be like, hey, you're taking all these classes, hey, you have all this stuff? I'm not sure. And then I did notice this. I'm 90% certain that's a glitch. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna continue on. You see the Hogwarts crest. A lot of people have already talked about that. Uh, uh, so right here, actually, if you look down at the bottom left corner, you'll see what I believe to be Hogsmeade. And then you'll actually see right here the boathouse, which we see in the movies. I love the books, but I can't for the life of me think of the boathouse in the books. I know that they went underneath the castle in the first one to go up the stairs, kind of like what the first years do. But I can't, other than that, I can't really think what it would be. Anyway, I really like how they put the boathouse in. I love the boathouse. Tons of people have already talked about the Quidditch post or field, whatever they call it. Then right here, actually, I don't know what that could be. My guess would be, where in the movies Hermione punches Draco Malfoy, that little rock face thing, because it's not the what is it called? The Wow, I can't even think what it is right now. Sorry, guys. But that's my guess of what it is. And then we're here. We see the greenhouses, Great Hall, which is where the carriage is flying to. So we'll continue on. So Hogwarts, late 1800s. Now I know a lot of people have talked about this. This is one of the biggest things people have talked about. But in from what I know, late 1800s, the late 1800s would be uh, 1860s to 1890s. Well, honestly, it would actually probably be 1870 to the 1890s. So that would be my guess. A lot of people want to see Dumbledore, want to see, all those famous people. And I think it would be cool. But I mean, this is a story about you. So I don't know if they would do that, especially since at the end of Dumbledore's first year, he is already known as the best wizard that has ever went to Hogwarts. So kind of interesting to think about. I mean, I think it would be cool. Don't get me wrong. All right, let's continue on. Here, right here, we see what I believe to be the astronomy tower, which is supposed to be the highest tower at Hogwarts. So it kind of looks like it is from this point, anyway. And then we see this beautiful stained glass window of a tree with what looks to be golden fruit, golden leaves. I'm not sure. I think it's really beautiful, though. And we'll see a better view of it right. Oh, wait, no, never mind. We don't see it right here. But we did actually get a good look at. Oh, come on, go back. At the player character. Oh, and actually, that reminds me. So, why is he coming in a carriage? I know a lot of people have talked about this, but not a lot of people have actually said the history behind the Hogwarts Express or anything like that. So the Hogwarts Express, correct me if I'm wrong, was operational in about 1830, around that time. So it would be operational if it was in the late 1800s. Now, my guess, my thought is that you don't show any magical ability until after September 1st, which is when Hogwarts starts. So we're actually coming in the late to the year. I still think that we're 15, like in the fifth year, because why? I mean, 11 would be cool. And maybe you could do like the first 4 years as the intro to the game, the training for the game, which I think would be all right. But I don't know. We'll see how they do it. Um, let's see what else was I gonna. Oh yeah, throughout the video, there's a few other things that kind of support my theory that this is happening after September 1st. So, but we'll keep going. Right here, so if you watch the carriage driver, we'll actually watch him and he kind of pulls back reins. So I do believe that this is a thestral drawn carriage. Either that or he's just reacting to how it lands, but it looks like he's more drawing back reins to, stop the Thestrals from going. So we'll continue on here. Um, so right here is kind of interesting to me. I want to see it in the game because right here they actually only have two of the house crests, Gryffindor and Ravenclaw. I'm not sure why. Maybe Slytherin and Hufflepuff are further up on the door, but that's interesting to me. They could do like Slytherin right there and then Hufflepuff. No, Ravenclaw is on this side. I don't know. We'll see. But, they could just kind of match how the tables are. Now, this scene is amazing. I love this scene so much. It is just beautiful. They open it. They open it to just beautiful Great Hall. I mean, I love it. A lot of people have said, this isn't the sorting ceremony, and I believe that because there's very few people here. They're not in their dress robe or their school robes. And the sorting ceremony that we see later, there's no food on the table. I'll kind of point that out too. A lot of people have said, they think it's breakfast. I don't think so because this meal right here, I'll get closer. Right here is actually known as the, I believe, crown roast. It's more of a lunch dinner thing. Um, Now in Hogwarts, they only do feasts on special occasions like holidays and ending and beginning of term. So it could be a dinner. We don't see any teachers up at the teachers' table, but there is food. So maybe they're coming. I don't know. Um, It's probably just another day. That would be my guess. I'm not going to point out all the beautiful details because everyone's already done that, and I agree with them. So I don't really think I need to point out those. I love the candles actually, just because it's one thing that I love in the movies. Just how they show the candles. I can't wait. Can't wait to see holidays and different things like that. Um, but yeah, so let's continue on forward, and we'll kind of point out some other things and talk about things. Here we actually get the first look at two different outfits that I'm assuming that we'd be able to wear. So we get the school robes, which I think look great. This isn't really a good view, but then we get like a kind of a suit type thing, which I love. I love suits. I think that they make people look really good. But yeah, so far I'm okay with the outfit choices that they have, and they kind of do remind me of like late 1800 style. You know, so we keep going. Um, okay, so right here, I know a lot of people have talked about this ghost, and I agree with them that it is 90% possibility of it being nearly headless Nick. He died in, correct me if I'm wrong, 1492 on Halloween. Halloween, I definitely know for sure because that's when they do the Death Day party in book two. Um, but I believe he died in 1492. Um, but that's not what I want to talk about. I actually want to talk about Professor Binns. So, those of you that have only seen the movies of Harry Potter won't know who Professor Binns is because they don't show him or talk about him. Oh, and also Peeves. But, everyone loves Peeves and have talked about him. But Professor Binns was supposed to be teaching before this time. So I think it would be amazing, like a special Easter egg for us to actually. No, sorry. For us to actually be in his class the day he died. So he comes in, the day before, he was fine. He was human. He was flesh, blood, and bone. And then the next day, he comes in as a ghost. I think that would just be so cool. And, people freak out and they're like, "What's going on?" And I just think that would be really cool. But in like the books and history and different things like that. It doesn't really give a specific date on when Ben's dies, which I think would actually be really cool for them to kind of hear, be like, oh yeah, he died here. He died this year, he died there. But yeah, so I think that'd be really cool. So let's continue forward. So right here, a lot of people have talked about it being in the library, the shushing wizard portrait, and I agree. I do want to point out this, though, the handrail, the handguard. Uh, so whenever we get to the next library scene, I'll kind of point out where I believe that this scene is taking place. Then right here, a lot of people have said that this is the grand staircase. I don't agree with that. Um, Mainly because the grand staircase was kind of, at least in the movies, in the books, they don't really describe it very well. Mainly because they don't describe it like they do in the movies. So I don't know how they're going to do that. Because there's actually a whole bunch of hidden staircases, hidden, pathways that, Harry takes. Um, But here, we kind of see a circular room, very little amount of portraits. So maybe it's the top of the grand staircase, which is a possibility, and I think it could work. Um, there's just very little portraits of like paintings of wizards, and you know, in the movies at least, there's hundreds and hundreds of paintings of wizards. And then also, I don't think that the staircases would change like this, because if you watch, there's no staircase right here. And if you watch, it looks more like a what I think a reparo spell would look like, or we did something in the game to where this is now an open place for us to explore. Kind of like in later in the trailer where we see the bridge kind of come down and like fix itself. I don't believe that's a reparo spell. I think it's more of like we did a spell and or something and it activates a new area for us to go. Anyway, so as we continue on forward, so right here is the library scene, and I love it. We get another look at three different, no, actually four different outfit choices. So we get a look at the sleeping student who is done with Hogwarts, and I love it. Might be like towards the end of one of the years where he's studying for exams. His suit, kind of like what we've seen before, and then the Hogwarts robes, we've seen those. Slytherin, love Slytherin. I'm a Slytherin, so. And then we actually see a Ravenclaw student, and then this lady. She doesn't have a suit coat on, so so far we don't have very many outfits, only four. But I mean, it's a school with a uniform, so what are we supposed to do, right? But then over here we see another lady with a suit coat on, and then a skirt. So far four. But we continue on. Beautiful scene of the library, beautiful. And then right here, I'll stop it before it changes. We kind of see what I believe to be the previous scene of the library. We see that middle pillar, and we can't really see it very well, but up here, I believe, is where the two pillars with the stars on top of them would be. So I believe that this is where the shushing portrait would be. And I love the uh, spiral staircase. Beautiful. Beautiful scene so far. And then right here, we kind of see another book. We don't know what book it is. Doesn't really say. I know that the library puts books away, but I don't think it like delivers books to you. So I think that this is probably the librarian giving you a book that you asked for. That would be my guess. But here we actually see a closer look at the suits, and it's kind of a square pattern, plaid pattern, I believe it's called. I don't know. I don't really wear those that because I don't like that pattern anyway. But yeah, so we keep going. Slytherin house, shout out. And then here we get a good look at the walking animation, which I'll kind of play through. And then the suits, a lot of people have pointed that out. Yeah, there's really nothing other than the animation I like. I'll kind of play that. The animation's really good. I just love it. So here is another uh, fact to support my theory of coming in late. So unless your last name begins with a Z, I highly doubt that this is September 1st. Mainly because there would be other students sorted. So I'm guessing that this is after September 1st. Um, and if you notice that there's a dress code where students have to wear their school robes. And this one isn't wearing school robes, neither is that one. And it kind of looks like a lot of them are talking to each other. So maybe they're like, hey, what is this going on? What's going on with this guy? And hey, look, he looks like Crab or Goyle. All right. And um, let's see. And then also, I love how they have the empty plates, goblets, different things like that. I just love it. I think it's great. I did notice the three teachers in the back. I'm thinking that this is the potions teacher. It kind of looks like the same with the brown coat and the longer dark hair. And then the deputy headmaster, I believe, is him. And there's a few others that have supported my theory, with it being Phineas Nigel's Black. So if we kind of go forward, we kind of see he steps back. Yes, I have seen this a lot. But we kind of get a good profile of this man, and in the books it's basically says he has a thin beard, green coat, very sharp features, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Put the comment or the exact quote in the comments below, and I'll shout you out next video. So yeah, I believe this is Phineas Nigellus Black, the deputy headmaster, because Phineas Nigellus Black is supposed to be the headmaster around this time, the late 1800s, early 1900s. So that's what I believe. So yeah, we'll continue on. Oh, actually, I did want to point out this. I do like how um, the robes are plain because well, in the books anyway, in the movies, they're plain robes until you get sorted into your house. So I think that's really cool how they did that attention to detail. Um, well, I don't know why that happened. Here is the courtyard that we kind of see in Harry Potter 4. A lot of people have pointed out the tree that Draco sits in. Blah blah blah. I don't really care about that because everyone else has pointed it out. Here we actually see a few different uh, uniforms. The Slytherin is actually wearing a different type of suit. The knickers don't go to knickers. I think that's what they're called. I don't know. Don't go all the way down to their ankles. I do like how they have a Gryffindor flirting, talking with a Slytherin, inner house relationships. I think it's so cool. Here we get a better look at the females' uh, uniform. And then if we continue forward, we look to the left, we actually see something that a lot of people haven't pointed out is the wizard's pointed hat that is required for every student to have. And we only see them a few times in the movies, kind of in year one. Um, yeah, I believe it's only year one. or the first movie, talking with the Hufflepuff student. So shout out to all those Hufflepuffs and Gryffindors. We continue forward. Here, Quidditch. I love Quidditch, but everyone's talked about it, and it makes sense. But I did want to point out this. It's a completely different uniform. And it's kind of interesting because of like the puffy sleeves, different things like that. I love the intricate design of this bench. Like, look at the details. That is just beautiful details. Can't wait for this game. So we'll continue on. Come on, there we go. So here, I won't spend a lot of time on this because it's been talked about a lot. I do like the attention to details. Man, I wish that thing wouldn't move. Anyway, so if you look on the potions down below, there's a few other people that have theories on them. I'm not like really knowledgeable about potions, but I do love how there's two Gryffindors with a Hufflepuff. I think it's cool. The potions teacher slaunters in. I will talk about this for a little bit. I don't think it's Manticore or Chimera, because they are both super dangerous and super deadly. As in, like, nobody's beaten them. Actually, one wizard I think beat a Manticore, and he died afterwards of exhaustion. So, I don't believe it's their poisons. Um, However, it might be a Noondew. A Noondew is in Fantastic Beasts. You see it for a brief moment whenever you're in Newt's case. It's the lion type thing that has like the puffer fish neck, so it like blows out. Noondews are supposed to be very dangerous. So it's shout out to Newt for being super awesome in taming one, but they're also supposed to be very deadly. Their breath can kill like an entire city in one like breath. It's kind of interesting. You should read Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and it kind of goes into it more. But I think it could be an antidote for that. They're a little bit less rare, and if Newt can tame one, I'm sure he's not the first. Although he could be. Newt was very ahead of his time. Anyway, we continue forward. Um, a lot of people have thought this looks like a Sirius Black type person, and I agree. Now, I do not think he is Phineas Nigellus Black. I believe he could be Phineas Nigellus Black's son. He did have a few sons, and one he actually named Sirius Black, who Sirius Black in the books was named after. So it could be him, or just some random person that they like the look of what they have. I mean, I don't think it's anything wrong with it. Anyway, we continue forward. Herbology class. Uh, don't really have anything to point out other than it's actually this is something. I'm interested to see how they do the class schedule, because in the books, herbology was with Hufflepuff and Gryffindor, not Slytherin and Gryffindor, while potions was with Slytherin and Gryffindor, not Hufflepuff and Gryffindor. So it's kind of interesting to me to how they're going to do it. So, yeah. Anyway, just a little tangent right there. We'll continue forward. All right, so here we actually get first look at some wands. And I love it how there's already different wands. There are two different wands. One looks like a darker wood, maybe ebony, and then a lighter wood, oak. I don't know. But I do like here how they actually have them out, wands out in potions class. So potions class, if you remember, in book one and movie one, Snape says, "There will be no foolish wand waving or incantations in this class." Blah blah blah. Uh, so there's no wands in potion making. So I have heard, one other person talk about how they think that this is more of a mischievous type prank, and I agree. If you watch the uh, guy on the left kind of watch their line, they kind of look at each other, and then the guy on the right gives a little nod like that. Yeah, let's do it. And then they do a spell. And then beautiful magic, by the way, beautiful effects. Uh, and then, they're kind of happy, smiling. Oh, and then right here, actually, I'm wondering if this is a scar. So maybe you can have scars, or it could just be like a laugh line. Actually, I'm looking at it, and I think this guy has one too. Most likely just like a laugh line. But anyway, keep going. Beautiful magic. Oh, actually, beautiful ceilings. I love the dungeon. Like, it's so cool. But yeah, we keep going. This is where we kind of see more action. The moon calves, I think they look great. Australia, there is one thing. Moon calves, at least how they're described in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, is that they actually have really big feet. Like, I don't remember exactly how they describe them. Comment section below if you know. But yeah, that's one thing I did notice. But anyway, we keep going. Here we see what I believe as everyone else, the Ravenclaw common room. I love how they have like what I believe to be a couple over here, so more social interactions, more friendships. Here we actually see another configuration of the uniform. His sleeves are rolled up, which is the first one to see, and then we see practicing magic, and then wands sitting down. And then we see a cat over here. All right, so here we get a look at another wand, and I think it's actually really cool with the different like protrusions and different things like that. Now, this is the whole reason why I made this video. Okay, I'm gonna go slow because it literally is probably not even a frame. It's probably half a frame. And nobody really has paid attention to it, probably because they're going super fast through it. But you keep going, and boom, literally half a frame. Like crazy. Okay. So, guys, this just gets me super excited. Right here is just amazing. Okay, so we see a human arm, and it looks like it's transforming into a bat. So, does this confirm human transfiguration? If so, that would be amazing. I mean, it would take away the need for animagi, animagus, whatever you want to call them. But it just is amazing, like how no one else has posted a video on this or even just posted the picture on Reddit or anything. I have looked and I can't find it anywhere. So this is the whole reason why I did this, was this picture right here. And actually, I've been wanting to do videos on Hogwarts Legacy for a while. I wanted to do it when the leak was out. Actually, I will be doing a leak review of it. But yeah, this right here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, I can't wait to see more. Anyway, so yeah, that's my video. I'm going to be covering Hogwarts Legacy for a little bit. As far as we know right now, there is an imminent release of something for Hogwarts Legacy because of the email that came out or was sent out by Warner Brothers or Sony. I think it was Warner Brothers actually. So when that happens, I'll cover that. I'll cover the leaked footage. Let's see. I'm gonna do a video on ancient runes, history of Hogwarts. Just a whole bunch of different things. So stay tuned. Please like and comment. subscribe. I am brand new. I'm just getting into it mainly because I love Hogwarts, Harry Potter. I love video games, and I thought, why not? Let's do it. And yes, I will be taking the day off of work whenever Hogwarts finally comes out, and I will be playing it all day, all day. But yeah, so please follow, subscribe, and yeah, I'm just gonna do me and be who I am.